Self-doubt is not a low confidence issue. It is a level confusion issue. Did you know you have levels of your mind? You totally have levels of your mind. Let's get into it. So Einstein said that you can't solve a problem at the same level that it was created. You can't solve a problem the same level that it was created. It's like the thinking that got you here is not the same thinking that's going to get you out. You need a new operating system, just like your phone, your computer. It gets upgraded every now and again, right? Or it's not going to work properly. Your mind is the same. It has an operating system. And it's mostly learned from other people. All of it is. It's conditioned in us, it's reinforced in us. It's the way the world turns, and you've got to break out of it, got to break out of its orbit and go up to a higher level. I'm going to tell you about those two levels. So the first one is stage 3. It is the socialized mind. This is where the majority of adults reside. Roughly 58% of people are still having an identity that is external. You're defined by the people and systems around you, your family, your job, your faith, your tribe. This is what we learn as kids: to get the gold stars, to get the good grades, to get the trophies, to get the diplomas, that this is how we advance through life, by seeking approval. And that means your sense of self is a reflection of how others see you. If they are happy with you, you're good. If they are disappointed, your internal world collapses. You are externally sourcing your sense of self, which makes sense because you're a kid, right? You don't really know who you are as a child. You're learning, you're getting it from your play, you're getting it from your TV shows, you're getting it from your books that you read before bed. We don't know who we are, so we are sponging this up. And the conflict in this stage, though, is that you don't have your values have you. If two groups you care about disagree, you feel torn apart because you lack an internal seat of judgment to decide who is right. Again, you're just pinging around the externals. I call it like being like a pinball. Just bounce off of one thing, go towards another thing, bounce off of that thing, go towards another thing. Like, don't really have your inner compass. You've outsourced that. You're getting that from other people. They're directing you. And again, when you're a kid, you need that. But when you're an adult, it's going to keep you stuck, even though you see a life that you want, a relationship that you want, a job that you want, maybe your own business, maybe you want to write a book, maybe you want to publish a song, but you don't do it because you're locked into this external identity. You're too concerned about what other people think instead of what you feel called to do. Does that make sense? All right. So stage 4, and I'm not getting into the lower stages because I'm just dealing with the ones that we're at, right? Keep it simple. Stage 4 is the self-authoring mind. And about 35% of adults reach this level of independence, and it is independence. It is the freedom that we all seek. Let me tell you about it. You have an internal compass. You author your own identity. You take a step back from expectations and decide for yourself what is right and wrong based on your own internal values and principles. This is an inside game. This is where I remember thinking, I had an epiphany biking through Australia, because I was wondering if I could maybe move to Australia. And I was aware that I was trying to find the right place to live, right? What's the right place? And so I was weighing the pros and the cons, and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as I'm biking, it just comes to me, as most of my epiphanies do, um, that really I just needed to know what was the right way for me. That I was never going to find the right way by measuring externally. That for some people, Australia might be the right place to live. For me, it might not be. So it just turned me within. And this is so important in the world right now because we get very inundated, very overstimulated with fads and hacks and trends and influencers. You could spend all day chasing this stuff. When you have the internal compass, you don't have to do that. You don't have to find a new solution for every situation you find yourself in. You've got the solution. You turn within for that direction. Doesn't that sound like freedom? Doesn't it sound like you would get a lot of your time back and a lot of your self assurance back? Uh, okay, the next part of this is boundaries. So you can hear, we're in the self authoring mind again at this stage, you can hear others' opinions without being consumed by them. You don't ignore people, you simply have an internal filter to evaluate their input rather than letting it define you. So now you're not like spiraling in all of this info that's out there, all of these um, differences of opinions, like this viewpoint, that angle, going down the rabbit hole, right? Is usually chasing everyone else's knowledge. And it starts to again define us and direct us. When you have boundaries, it's that inner filter where you hear something, you measure it against your own yardstick, your own inner set of values and beliefs, and then you decide. Doesn't that sound a lot better? A lot less stressful, right? You don't have to jump on every bandwagon out there. And responsibility. You take responsibility for your own emotions and boundaries. You realize you can't make everyone happy. And you're okay with that as long as you are acting in alignment with your own principles. Isn't that beautiful? Like we're told as kids, like, who's responsible for this? Who did this? And we want to blame somebody else because we're like, responsibility means we're going to get punished. That's not how it is as an adult. You got to let go of that. You want to take full responsibility for your life. That is the first thing you need to do. There's nothing's going to change until you do that. And I like to call responsibility respondability. So don't I want the full ability to respond? Otherwise, I'm just going to be in reaction, going to be playing defense in my life instead of offense. I'm back to that pinball of just bouncing off of thing to thing. When I take responsibility, I'm in charge of where that ball goes. And I can pivot and I can know. Instead of thinking my way there, I know my way there. It's a much calmer, peaceful way to be. I hope this is really helpful. I hope this encourages you to go beyond the self approval stage to the self authoring. And it's actually not even self approval, it's, socialized, from socialized mind to self authoring. So, again, the socialized mind, identity is external, you're approval seeking, and the conflict is if two groups disagree, you don't have an internal set of judgment. Their conflict becomes your conflict. I'm sure you've experienced that. And in the self authoring mind, you have an internal compass that guides you. You have boundaries that are strong and helpful. They're not wobbly, they're solid, and you take responsibility for your own emotions and your own life. When we don't take responsibility, nothing changes. It's really pivotal. So this is how you go from being the majority of the people that are moving with the herd to being somebody that is pioneering their own way, which we are all meant to do. And I am here to encourage and help you. What of these tips are you going to try first? Please leave a comment below. Are you going to focus on your internal compass? Are you going to work on boundaries? Are you going to start taking responsibility? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read them all and I really look forward to them. And also subscribe so you can hear more of this goodness. And if you want to be with other people that are moving from stage 3 of the socialized mind to stage 4, the self-authoring mind, and actually leading their lives, creating their lives instead of reacting, join the Level Up Lounge. It's the perfect community to do this in, and more happens in community than alone, for sure. The majority of adults are not doing this, so come with us that are. And the link is pinned in the first comment, or you can comment level and I will get it to you. See you next time.